Hi Maria, my name is Mackenzie. I'm going to be your nurse today. Can you tell me a little bit about what brought you in today?
So basically I'm here because I was in the hospital. I tried to commit suicide with sleeping medication, so it's basically like a follow-up. So
Okay, well I'm sorry to hear that. I'm glad you're here today. Now as part of my assessment, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions that I ask all my patients. And everything that we talk about is confidential. I do want to remind you. Now, I know that you have some children. I read that in your chart. So if there's anything about your children's safety, I do want to let you know that I am mandated to report if they're in an unsafe environment. But everything else is confidential. So these questions are going to be pretty personal that I'm asking. That's why I have the door closed so that we can have some privacy as we talk about that. Is it all right if we begin? Okay, so I'm just gonna, look off of this chart that I have here. You can look at it with me, but I just want to talk a little bit about your relationship with your husband. So in general, how would you describe your relationship? Would you say there's a lot of tension, some tension, or no tension at all?
I would say that there's a lot of tension.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a very aggressive man. Yeah.
Okay. So do you and your partner work out arguments with great difficulty, some difficulty, or no difficulty?
I would say great difficulty. I told him the other day I was going to go back to school, and he told me that I couldn't go, and I told him I was going to do it without him or not, and then he got a little aggressive, and then he made me apologize.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Thank you for being honest, though. So do your arguments ever result in you feeling down or bad about yourself? Often, sometimes, or never?
Sometimes.
Sometimes? Okay. Do arguments ever result in hitting, kicking, or punching? Often, sometimes, or never?
Sometimes.
Okay. Do you ever feel frightened by what your partner says or does? Often, sometimes, or never?
I would say sometimes. Like I said, he's very aggressive, so yeah, it's just sometimes.
Okay. Has your partner ever abused you physically? Often, sometimes, or never?
Often. So he always he turns into this rage whenever it was just like when I had to go get the books, and I told him I was gonna go back to school, and he saw the books and he was just so mad, and he was kicking and punching me and all that extra stuff that he was not necessarily just very he doesn't know how to control his anger. So it's like everybody thinks that I'm overreacting. I don't think I am, but everybody's saying that, I have to do this because I'm his wife, and I have to take whatever he does, which I think is ridiculous. But because of my culture and where I'm from, this is where my place is. So I don't know. This is just a lot. So.
Yeah, it sounds like a very challenging situation. I'm sorry to hear about that.
Yeah.
Is it alright if we continue through some of these other questions? Okay. Has your partner ever abused you emotionally? Often, sometimes, or never?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. And how about, has your partner ever abused you sexually? Would you say often, sometimes, or never?
Sometimes. So there was a bit. I think that's what the doctor said, that I'm developing anxiety whenever it comes to talking about stuff like this, just because he's made me do things that I don't want to do, and every time it's brought up, I just start to shake a little bit. So please excuse the table. And now I have headaches, and I can't really sleep at all. So it's a lot. So
yeah, it sounds like it. I wanted to ask a little bit too, and you don't have to answer this, but since your husband has hurt you, has he ever hurt or put your children in any danger?
Not necessarily the children, but I do believe the children can hear, and they've seen a couple things, so that's gotta be for something. I don't know. But I try to guard them from it as much as I can, but I'm not always there, and I can't always see what they see. So
Yeah, definitely. Well, I wanted to thank you for answering all of those questions. I know it is a challenging subject, and I want to thank you for your honesty. Now, since your husband has hurt you, and it sounds like specifically the books and going to school was the latest situation, is that correct? Would you be willing to tell me a little bit more about that?
I've pretty much told you everything. Basically, I was gonna go to school. He found out that I'd registered for the courses and then signed up for some courses. Like I said, I bought my books, and then that's when he started like hitting me and kicking me and punching me. So
Yeah.
Then that's clearly where this bruise is from. So I don't know if you noticed it or not, but like I don't know. I feel like it's time to speak up. So
Yeah. Are both of those bruises from that incident?
yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry that you've experienced all of that. No one deserves to be treated like that. Now, is there anything that I can do for you at this time to support you?
I'm not sure. I'm not really sure how I can change this, just because it's supposed to be how I'm supposed to be, as I'm supposed to take this. But I don't know. Is there any information that you can give me, or somebody I can speak to about this, maybe?
Yeah, there is. I'd like to talk to you a little bit, if you're comfortable, with a safety plan. Are you familiar with that?
Your session is over, guys.